What is up, everybody? Welcome back to FNF Bar Talk. Me and Negative Rob have another Steel Reserve alloy series review tonight for you guys, and tonight is the spiked Blackberry.
Yes. So we are going all in on this whole Blackberry trend. It seems to be the good thing going on for the past month or so. So obviously everyone's well aware that we had the Crown Royal Blackberry that came out. We did a review on that on itself with a few little mixtures. We've also did some off-the-wall kind of mixtures with the Crown Royal Blackberry as well. And we have also done some other drinks with Blackberry. We did the White Claw Blackberry. We did an Old Smoky Blackberry Lemonade, which was pretty decent. And we also did a Crown Royal Lemonade in a pack of itself. So Crown Royal had a pack with different style lemonades, and there was a Blackberry lemonade in that.
Yep.
So now, Steel Reserve Blackberry. Although I'm pretty sure theirs were probably out a little bit before the whole Blackberry craze.
Yeah, I would say.
So we just stumbled upon the Steel Reserve not too long ago, and they already had a whole slew of them. So I'm pretty sure they beat them in the whole Blackberry. But we did a Steel Reserve previously.
Two of them.
We did two of them. The
Tiki Punch,
and
the Cherry Slurpee.
The Cherry Slurpee, which was just
out of this world.
So I'm having very good high hopes on this one here, because so far Steel Reserve has not really let us down.
No, not at all. Both of them have been excellent. So for this one right here, going on the nutritional values, because that's what we like to do, and these are usually not the most friendliest of them all. So these come in at 574 calories, 66 grams of carbs. They are 8% alcohol. And so, like, we do a lot of Four Locos, and Four Loko claims drinking one of them, because they are 13.9%, is a six-pack of beer.
Yep.
So these being 8%, we did some digging around. So Steel Reserve claims that if you drink one of these cans, it's equivalent to drinking 4 beers.
Yep.
So keep that in mind if you're drinking 2 to 3 of these, that you're, around 8 to 12 beers, around 5% alcohol. So just saying, just kind of be mindful that these will kind of creep up on you,
but they taste better so far.
Yeah, so far we are 2-0.
2-0.
And
how many is there?
I think there's 10 flavors.
10 flavors altogether?
So far, yeah.
So not bad.
Yeah, it's definitely been a pretty good start. The Four Locos, we cannot say the same for them. They are very hit or miss, but they're actually really fun to do, because I think getting the bad ones is actually the fun part, because they're so terrible.
Because you kind of have high hopes. Like, for instance, just speaking of the Four Loko was the thing back in the day. That was just back in like the early 2000s, like 2004, 2005 or so. Four Locos and Sparks, they were the thing. Malt liquors were or malt beverages, not liquors, but malt beverages were like really hitting the stride and going crazy. And they took pretty much a little bit of a hiatus, came through, and then you got your seltzers and your frou-frou and all that kind of whatevers. And so now finding all the malts coming back, it's kind of like, going a little old school, bringing them back, trying to get them in there. But the gist of it is the Four Loko we had sort of high hopes for, and they are a hit and miss at this point. I think out of the 4 or 5 that we've done, there's probably been like one that was like...
There's like 2. The Green Apple and the Warhead was really good.
I mean, but out of all that we've done, it was just like, okay, we started off really good. And then the gold, let's not speak of that. And then we kind of went to the other ones, and it was kind of like, up, down, crazy. Steel Reserve, anyone old enough to know what the Steel Reserve beer in itself was, this was pretty much, when I discovered this, was kind of like, you know what? This is probably going to be one of those things where we're going to drink it, and it's going to be like, oh my God.
And just dump it down the drain.
But, behold, to our surprise, it was, oh my God, they are freaking like, just great.
Really, yeah, they're really good.
The cherry slush was like, it was crazy. It was just, so far, 2 out of 2, great, phenomenal. So I am looking forward to the Blackberry. Um, I don't know. I mean, I really, other than what we've been doing in Blackberry, Blackberry has its own kind of unique taste versus a blueberry or a grape. So we'll see how they kind of put it in there. But if it's anything like the other two that we've done, oh yeah,
I have high hopes for this because, like I said, like you said, the cherry Slurpee was phenomenal. That was probably, I would say, minus it having 100 grams of carbs and like 700 calories. It was probably the best malt flavored drink like this I've ever had. And then we had the Tiki Island Punch, which came in. It wasn't as good, but it was really good.
In comparison to, like, for instance, most of the Four Loko in the overall spectrum of the Four Loko,
it smashed the Four Lokos.
You're just like, Steel Reserve, really? Like, okay, that can't be Steel Reserve, but it has been. Steel Reserve has been really knocking it out at this point. I mean, they're like that hidden gem. Again, anyone old enough to know Steel Reserve probably would see this in the cooler and be like, I ain't touching that shit. I ain't going anywhere near it. And again, I had the same thing when I seen them in there. And I was actually looking for just old school, reminiscing about the Steel Reserve, and because we used to do Steel Reserve and Old E and all that. And I seen that, and I was like, there ain't no way in hell that's going to be good, because I know what Steel Reserve tastes like. And I'm like, but I got it just to say, you know what? Let's throw it out there just for, shit and giggles. And wow,
it's phenomenal.
Yeah, it's running. Steel Reserve, hats off to you, because it is definitely out there. But again, these are a lot packed in this can. So if you do drink these,
drink responsibly with these.
Yes, you very carefully with these things.
Because I'm telling you, like he's saying, the cherry Slurpee, it was so good. Literally, you could probably drink this entire can if you put it into a glass. You could drink this entire can in probably, I would say, a minute. It was like a Slurpee that melted down from 7-Eleven. You suck it up with a straw. I mean, it was identical. So these are actually very dangerous. I would say they're probably worse than Four Loko because they taste better.
Yeah.
So you could go through them faster.
If you're not an experienced old school drinker, take these with extreme caution. So And
if you can drink a Four Loko Gold, you are the man. Because that is probably the most atrocious thing I've ever had in my life. And I'm just saying like that. And me and this man right here, we've had some crazy stuff.
Oh, some of the garbage that I've drank over the years.
Smells like blackberry.
Definitely smells like blackberry.
Pretty good. It's like blackberry. It's just like blackberry. That's it. It's like, these things are really weird. There's like, whoever like came up with these like flavors did a really good job. There's no like malt flavor. There's no like real weird chemically aftertaste behind them. It just tastes like fruit. That's it.
Yeah, I mean it's
like you're just drinking cold blackberry juice.
Yeah, I mean, you can maybe kind of smell some of the malt in there.
It's very faint.
But I mean,
this is dangerous. I'm telling you, like, this is very dangerous drink, and these are very cheap. So I think last time we were out, we grabbed 10 of these, and they were under $2.50 a can. Now you think it like that. So if they claim that one of these cans is 4 beers, that's pretty cheap.
Yeah, I mean, you get a good amount of those, like getting a 30-pack.
Yeah,
and they taste better. Yeah, these they taste very good.
It tastes like it's sweet, of course, because 66 grams of carbs, but it's sweet. Blackberry is like, it almost kind of tastes like the Crown Blackberry out of the bottle. when we had it chilled in the glasses, it's like super.
But it's sweeter. But once the sweetness goes in, and you kind of like just let it kind of lay on the tongue a little bit, after you've done swallow, then you almost get that crown.
Because you get that little bit of malt behind it with the alcohol.
Yep, and it just kind of like mellows that out. And I mean,
I would say
it's got a little like it doesn't. There is no lemonade in this, although that would be a pretty good to kind of like splash a little bit. But
I would be pretty good. I would say that
we don't want to get too messed up. But it almost does have a little slight tartness at the back end where maybe that's just me, how I taste that. But, maybe because, I've never really had like a blackberry on its own. I've usually had juices. So, it's not, by no means is it tart. But,
no.
But it's got, if you kind of swoosh or whatever you want to do, it's got a slight little tartness. Blackberry or...
It's kind of sharp.
Yeah, kind of like a fruit tartness to it, but yeah, you can pretty much knock one of these things out nicely.
Like I said, it's strong blackberry. You can just at the very finish of it, you get a little bit of the malt flavoring that the liquor, but it's not super intense. But these are really good. These are probably some of the most dangerous drinks we've ever tried. Because Four Locos, you know what you're drinking because they have that predominant alcohol taste because they're so strong. They're almost 14% for the can. These are 8%, but I think these are worse.
And like I said, back in the day, Four Loko Sparks, you were drinking those things. They had caffeine mixed in with it.
Oh, yeah.
It was one of those things where you drank it. If you weren't laying on the ground after about finishing a whole can of that, you were pretty much lucky. If we had these, if Steel Reserve made these,
man,
back in the day,
we'd be in trouble.
I don't know whether, I'd probably still be here, but I probably would have a whole lot more stories to probably talk about.
Mm-hmm.
But, because these things are good. I still hold the
cherry.
The cherry is still number one.
100%.
This comes right up behind it.
I would say this is better than the Island Punch, the Tiki edition.
Well, yeah, this is definitely number 2.
This is number 2 now.
Right behind the cherry. I don't think the cherry is ever going to be dethroned.
And I know a lot of people are probably thinking, why are you guys trying Steel Reserve and Four Locos? And look,
I like to reminisce about the old days.
I have a lot of stuff back here. I try and I buy bottles weekly, but I like to try cheaper stuff like this because being him, it's more fun. And a lot of people ask about Four Loko and about like Bird Dog and all that stuff's coming. The Bird Dog whiskey versus the Crown Blackberry, all that stuff. That we're going to do some heads up videos, battling. But these videos, people ask for these maybe because they're cheap. I don't know, but they're actually pretty fun reviews to do because they are cheap.
Yeah.
I don't have to go out and spend $65 to $100 a bottle to say, hey, I taste this, I taste that. Would I buy it again? Yes or no? Boom, done.
And realistically, he can attest to that portion of it. Me, I come from the more simpler stuff. Back in the day, the cheap end of the cooler. You go in the liquor store, you go to the far end where the cheap crap was. Steel Reserve, Old E, Mad Dog 2020, all the stuff that you could pretty much get for bottles around this time, whatever. Everything was under $5.
You know what I was going to say, though? The finish reminds me of Mad Dog 2020. That very...
Banana red.
Yes, the very end finish on a Mad Dog.
Yep.
That's what it kind of reminds me of going back to the 90s.
See, and that's what I reminisce about the old school cheap cooler in the beer stuff. Now, granted, I'm still more into this portion. I do a lot of the mixers. I like that kind of portion. He's kind of graduated up into, all this fanciness and all this kind of like that, which is fine. But I'm just a common man that goes with some of the older stuff and is good. Some of the newer stuff up here, I can't tolerate that for the most part. I couldn't tell you the difference between any of those bottles. He could, I can't. But I know what I like, and I like this.
This is good. I mean, even though it is a cheap $2.49 bottle of Steel Reserve, it's actually good. Like if I was at a party, this is weird, and somebody say, "Hey, man, you want one of these?" I'll be like, now, if I've never had them, I'll be like, "Oh man, oh no, man, Steel Reserve." But if I've already had them, I'll be like, "Thank you." And there is a lot of flavors. I actually went out one day and we picked them all up. So we have them all do videos. We have not had them yet.
Not yet.
When we do the video is actually the first time we will try them. And we give our honest review.
And basically, we do these videos, one, because we like to reminisce about the old days and all this, the old drinks and all like that. But for the individuals like yourselves that happen to be at a party and they might not be able to afford all this fanciness that's back here, and there might be stuff like these in the cooler, and now you know, hey, you know what, I heard those were pretty good, let me try one of those. Boom, there you go. Or hey, in the reverse, hey, I heard about that, I heard it kind of tastes like duty. I'll pass on that, but do you have any Steel Reserve? There you go. So we're doing the homework for you.
Yeah, they're good. They're cheap and they're good, which in today's economy, that's perfect.
Yes.
That's perfect. You know what I mean? If you can go out and spend $2.50, drink this thing down, and probably get most average people get a slight buzz, that's a win-win right there for me.
Those of us that actually had this kind of, not this, but had the original
the old daddy,
and had the Mad Dog 2020 and had all those old school stuff back there. They were cheap.
Yeah,
I mean, literally, you could go in there with with $5
$2
and get like a couple cans of Steel Reserve, a big old 40 of freaking Old E or whatever, and you were good. You were good for the night. So this 4 beers for under $3.
Yeah.
This is good. You're hanging out, playing some cards, listening to a little bit of Enigma. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, see, you don't know nothing about none of that.
But there's one thing you didn't say they have. Good flavor.
Oh, it's got good flavor.
Yeah, they're really good. Flavor. They're really good. I know a lot of people are probably like, come on, hurry up.
No, they're good.
Who shot John, all this stuff. But, these are legit. They're really good. Like I said, price point, if you're like kind of like hesitant, we understand. We were the same way. And now 3 out of 3 so far, they all pass. I would give this can right here, I would give this I would say 8.5 out of 10. It's not as good as a cherry because I don't think anything will ever amount to that kind of hype. Like that bottle is fun. Well, that can is phenomenal. If you haven't had it, trust me, go out and buy one. Just try it.
I do have the hopes for the orange. I'm waiting.
We do have the orange soda.
That
one is upstairs. That's gonna be another video coming out soon. So
yes, I would give this a good solid 8 on that as well. So this is very good. So far out of the 3 that we've done, this one comes in second.
Yep, I'll agree with that. This is number 2.
Definitely comes in. This is good. This is good stuff.
But as always, drink responsibly. Do not drink and drive, because if you do, Negative Rob will come bail you out, and it'll probably make you drink one of these.
And then I'm going to basically talk about how you ruined my time coming to bail you out.
So if you ain't subscribed to the channel, subscribe, give it a like, give it a share if you can. Whatever you guys do, we appreciate. Anything you don't want to add to the video?
Nope. Go pick up some Steel Reserve. Pick up some Blackberry.
Blackberry is good.
Yes, Blackberry is good.
And if you guys have had any other flavor before we actually get to them all, let us know what your favorite is. We'd kind of like to know what you guys think about these.
Yeah, because if we get a good amount of, like, say everyone floods in and says, hey, orange is really good, then we're going to go on the orange. We're going to try that one out first. If not, we're going to be luck of the draw. So, and if anyone gets any of the Blackberry, put a little lemonade in there and let us know how that turns out.
We should have did that.
Probably should have.
We should have did that.
Yeah. Yeah, well, we can always do it one of the evenings, bar wise. We'll post it,
That's true.
let everyone know about it. If not, hey, it's good. Try it again.
That's true. All right, guys. Well, we will see you guys next time. Stay tuned. There's a lot more review videos coming for you guys, and me and Negative Rob will try to go over everything for you guys. So,
Yep.
we'll see you next time. Cheers.